All right. Hello, everybody. Good morning and good evening and good afternoon to all of you from wherever you're joining us and all over the world. If you haven't already said hi, please say hi in the chat. Let us know where you're coming from. My name is Jason Erdreich. I'm coming to you from the East Coast on the US over in New Jersey, and I am the education director for Makera. And I'm super excited to have another live stream. It's been a little bit since we've done one of these, so it's good to be back. And as always, it's good to be joined by my good friend from the other side of the world, Rulof. How are you doing there, bud?
I'm doing fantastic. It's an early morning on this side of the world. I do see some fellow Europeans and people from this side. So thank you for joining us. I've actually seen a lot. It's great. It's great to have you guys here. Thank you for staying up or waking up. I'm not sure, but we'll keep this live stream exciting, so you don't fall asleep too quickly. Hopefully, we can keep you guys hanging on. We've got some cool stuff planned for this live stream. And anybody that doesn't know me, my name is Rulof. I'm the user experience director for Makera, and I also manage the tech support team. And yeah, it's great to be here. And yeah, it's exciting that we have this live stream now, and it's also exciting that I think the next live stream we will be sitting next to each other.
Yeah, maybe the next one. The next one, I think we're going to still be through the screen in June, but soon, right? In July, July, you're going to be here.
Soon. That's right. That's right. We will be there. We're
It
very
is only
excited.
May. I know it feels like it's June, but it's still May.
This year is flying.
Yeah.
And I think, I'm just also so excited because I've got something here that you guys are very excited about. And it's here.
Right.
The Z1 Founder Edition has actually landed here. So it's super exciting. If you just look at this thing, just take a second and just look at it. How pretty is this machine, man?
It is pretty cool. I have one right here, which we're going to be getting hands-on with throughout the stream as well. And it's exciting. I mean, I know that you and I have some behind the scenes abilities by working for Makera. So we maybe get, maybe more access than a lot of our users do, which is pretty sweet, not going to lie. But, from the last Z1 prototypes we saw at CES to this full production spec version, it's pretty exciting for sure. Yeah. And
very exciting, very exciting.
And the next time I will see you is going to be at Open Sauce too in July. So guys, definitely stay tuned for that. If you're going to be in the San Francisco Bay Area on the 17th, 18th, and 19th, we will be at Open Sauce once again, where if you want to come get hands-on with the Z1, Makera Studio, some of the stuff we're going to preview tonight, definitely swing on by.
And there will be many Z1s on site at Open Source. So
many.
You can get hands-on with the machine. So it's going to be
some
very
cool,
excited about that.
Mill and chill action lab stuff where you get to hang out with Roloff, myself, our whole team, and do some cool creation right there on the expo floor, which is pretty sweet. But listen, back to this live stream. Roloff, it's so good to see you again. And listen, we're excited for what's going on. Tonight, we're going to be talking about our next big beta release for Makerables and the first beta release for Makera Studio, which essentially what we're looking to do is thanks you for all the people who participated in the Makerables beta project about a month and a half ago. Your feedback was awesome, and that was for a closed beta. This community beta is essentially the next step to getting Makerables fully public, a website you can go to, browse, create, whatever it is. So what we're looking to do is we're looking to have a couple more people just join our beta group. We'll talk about the details throughout the stream. And that beta group is not only to give Makerables the last little bit of fine refinement that we need before it goes fully live, it's also to begin to test Makera Studio, our latest cam and controller group. And this beta is going to be going on for about a month before everything goes full public. But of course, we'll tell you how to join the beta and everything like that, as well as demonstrate these things and get hands-on with these things in the stream tonight.
Yeah. Thank you, Jason. That's exciting times. I have a little update on the Z1s. So as you know, the machines has been shipped, and like every few days, there's more machines that's shipping out. So the wheel is rolling. And then customers, obviously the people that's received their machine is the people that that ordered it via air freight. And it will continue to be delivered in the next few coming weeks. And the other machines that were shipped via sea freight, that is on its way. We can't talk exact backer numbers and orders on this live stream, but things are happening. And the Pro is also finished, almost finished with testing, and that should also start shipping early June. So very excited about that. Another cool thing that's starting is on June the 9th. We are opening up the pre-sale for the Z1. So we're very excited about that. You can check there's a link in the chat. You can have a look there. This is the page that we've already created for the pre-sale. So keep an eye out on that. If you haven't caught us on Kickstarter, you will soon be able to also order your Z1 from our website. So we're very excited. And you can also get exclusive gifts with your purchase, and you can also stand a chance to win that machine that you purchase off the website for free. So drop your email in there. And we're also going to have the live stream for the pre-sale launch in June. And we will draw that lucky winner live on that live stream, and then we'll obviously give away some more prizes and thing on that live stream too. That was the live stream I kind of missed before open source. That was
yes, it's crazy, and it's only going to be in what, 2 weeks? I mean, that's coming up fast, right? So I'm going to see you through the screen again for that one, and then you'll be here, which will be exciting for sure.
Exciting,
super exciting. Yeah, so Z1, as you mentioned, it's going on sale in just a couple weeks, and it's going to be really fun for you and I to get to like pick a name out of a hat, essentially, to give one away to somebody who entered their email in that pre-sale live. So definitely check that out. But yeah, listen, beta process. So what we're doing is we are entering what we're calling our phase 2 community beta. Phase 2 being phase 1 was kind of closed doors, behind the scenes, troubleshooting, testing out our different features, which happened about a month and a half ago. And again, thank you for everyone who participated in that. We've now moved Makerables onto a public server. Makerables.com is a real site. It's a wait list at the moment. You can't get on there and create just yet, but we are now essentially building the library of projects and things, and we're asking for help. So what we want people to do is we want you to apply to this beta group. We'll tell you how to do that in a minute. And essentially just use Makerables. Use our AI craft features, publish your projects, check out things that are already on there. And we want to populate the site so that way when it goes fully public, fully live, there's hundreds of awesome projects already on there for our maker community that's going on like 20,000 strong, which is really exciting. We also want you to get access to Makera Studio, our newest cam and controller app, which we're going to be previewing. And we want to see you try to create your projects using Makera Studio, see how that works from getting them from Studio to Makerables, back and forth, etc. And that is this community beta. We're looking for like 1,000 people to participate. So there's plenty of space to do this as you're running through. And we also want to remind you that Makerables is a website that's for CNC creation and collaboration. So even if you are a user that uses Fusion, SolidWorks, whatever, you can still share your CAM files, your CAD files, your projects, your guides on Makerables, as well as using Makera Studio, of course. And those are all some of the things that we're going to preview as we go through tonight. The other cool thing about this is that we are holding a contest for our beta testers. So we are looking to give away more than 1,000 gift cards ranging from $5 to $200 awarded to Makerables projects that have been posted to Makerables.com during this phase 2 beta. And we're going to be judging based on originality, completeness, visual display, community value, and more. So basically you sharing awesome projects, fostering more collaboration in our maker community is super cool. We want to reward you for that by holding our first Makerables contest and giving you awesome stuff.
Very exciting, very exciting. We're so excited about this, and it's about the community. It's not about us. It's about everybody watching, everybody around the world watching the stream, using CNCs. We want to create a space for, we are so used to other 3D printing websites where you can just download things for 3D printing. And this is a space for CNC. And the people that we are looking for is not only experienced users, but we're looking for beginners as well. We need projects all over the ranges of all our machines. And specifically people with our machines, so we can show people exactly the steps on how to produce a certain part, how to mount that to our machines, how to use the clamps, how to use the screws, how to use all the different features that our machine have. So it's within our environment of our machines. Also, it will be open to people, to the Z1 users that have already received their machines. And yeah, it's not only for the projects, it's also that we're looking for feedback on our software and on our website, Makerables. So we talk a lot on Discord. This is like the back and forth and the feedback. We use Discord for most of this. And this is an interactive platform where we can go back and forth, do changes, just discuss openly, new features or things that we need to fix or bugs, or it's just an exciting thing with everybody in the community to help us grow this system and network of software and websites and everything together, with not only with the company but with everybody around us.
Yeah. And just to answer this question that's on the screen, what about Carvera users? Is it only for the Z1? Absolutely not. It's for everybody, as Rilla said. So we want our whole range of users on there: Carvera Air, Z1 users. And, if you have other CNCs and things too, there's not really a site that allows you to share projects designed for subtractive manufacturing. Makerables is really the first hugely collaborative contest, project creation, whatever site that allows you to do this. So you can certainly share projects and things across the board. But as Roloff said, for this initial beta test, we're really trying to test the functionality of the site. We are looking to get a lot of Makera users on there for Carvera Air, and Z1 alike.
Yeah.
And the link to apply to that is in the chat. And you can also find the link to apply on all of our social pages: Facebook, Discord, etc. as well.
Yeah. Before we chat too much about it, let's first just loosen up things and let's do a little giveaway. What do you think?
I think that sounds great.
So let me just do this from my side. There we go. Let's select the stream. Sorry, I jumped into this a little quick. Let me just explain how this works. So how to enter, we're going to use the YouTube comments only. So I will type in a little text in this little match text area, and then you type that into the chat, into YouTube, and then we will randomly select winners that will get 3,000 Makera points. What are Makera points, Jason?
I'm so glad you asked. I'm going to kick you off the screen though, real quick. Can I kick you off the screen? I can. I will kick you off the screen. And these are Makera points. So basically, we want to give you stuff for getting stuff, right? So we have so many customers that love to order bits and stock and materials and stuff from us. So basically, points are free money that you can use in the store. It's like, you can think of them like gift cards. They're points that you can redeem with all of your purchases from Makera.com. So, if you accumulate points, let's say you have 1,000 points, that's worth $10 that you can take off of your order, and you can get stuff with points. You can earn points by referring friends, by following us on social media, by collaborating with us on Discord and Facebook and YouTube. All this stuff, leaving comments on our Reddit page, you can earn points that way. And when you share projects in Makerables, you will be able to earn points just by sharing a project, let alone winning points when we do contests. And again, you can redeem gift cards, you can redeem swag, and so much more on Makera.com. And a bunch of you have the opportunity to earn and win some points right now. Also, Rolf, did you notice that we're now on our website for a live stream? Look. We're watching us on the live stream, which is kind of fun.
I saw that. I was like, what is that?
That's new. That's so high-tech stuff here at Makera.
Yeah.
It's anyway,
Inception. Live Inception.
And back to you. Let's give some stuff away.
Points are cool. Let's give away some points. So for the first text that we're going to put in, I'm going to say #beta. check the spelling, and let's go.
Spelling does count. Ready, steady, go.
There we go. Let's go. We're going.
Cool. Good. That's excellent. So yeah, we're giving away, did we say how much this time? It's 3,000 points, right? This first giveaway. This is going to be our first of 3 giveaways tonight, everybody. So stick with us.
So it's worth $30.
$30, 3,000 points. And again, you can accumulate your points so you can allow them to stack up and use them all at once. And you can also bundle them with other sales, promotions, gift cards, etc.
I feel points are like perfect for just like tool money.
Yeah,
you know,
bits. You can never have enough bits. You can never have enough, like, you know, little, even, you know, screws and clamps and all that fun stuff. Like those little accessories are all wear and tear items, you know? Foil board and stuff like that.
And obviously, if you accumulate it, you might get to a value of a machine. So
or
more posts you make, the more
lasers. We have a bunch of new accessories on the way too, vacuum tables and side clamps and things like that. So, you know, lots of cool things.
Very exciting. All right, how are we feeling? How we feeling? We still got some coming in.
Yeah, it's good. The chat is
221.
super active. Remember to check your spelling there, folks. Check your spelling.
All right, I think we're at a point. Let's hit draw.
Cool.
Number 1.
First winner of the evening will be Damien Bonicato.
Bonicato.
Congratulations. You're the first winner of many.
Let's go again.
Here we go. Let's see.
Moonlight Dave.
Awesome.
Congrats.
Congratulations, Dave.
Let's
Job well done.
Back.
You guys can also continue to enter while this is going on. Absolutely. It's also good to see some
Bourbon.
Bourbon. It's good to see so many familiar names too. I'm starting to like learn some of these usernames. So thank you guys for coming back time and time again. It's good to see some familiar names out there. Let's see. What is this? Is this the third
Number
winner?
4.
Number 4.
Nando.
Nandox 7.
I recognize his name too. I think he's won something already.
Super cool. Awesome stuff. Is this the last one? Are we on 5?
This is the last one.
I'm glad someone is counting. So I got
Clary.
Awesome. Congratulations.
I hope I'm great.
Congratulations to those winners. That is just the first round, folks. First round. We'll come back for more giveaways throughout the stream. So definitely stay with us and keep your keyboards ready.
Yeah. So to claim your prizes, you must subscribe on our social media, and then you send us a screenshot of your YouTube account, so we can just we can make sure that is you, and you send that to info@makera.com to claim your points.
Good stuff. I think let's dive into some of the cool stuff we talked about earlier on about, you know, Makera Studio and all this awesome things that are in the pipeline and what beta testers can do.
Yeah. So I'm going to share my screen over here. So this is Makera Studio. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a basic rundown of what this does, how this looks, how you operate it, how you can put something together. I'm going to just go roughly. I'm going to kind of do it in a manual way, and then Jason will do it in a different way. So I'm not going to go into too much detail. I don't have time to go into too much detail because there's so many different projects you can import here. There's so many different ways to do things. So basically, I'm going to focus on just the overview of what this is, Makera Studio, and how this works. So on the left hand side here, we have a bunch of modifiers. So I think I'll just start by adding let me just start with a new file. And then you have 2 options here. You have a guided mode, which I'm not going to focus on now. I think I'll leave that to Jason. And then we have the custom mode, which you can do down here. Now I'm going to just, for my example, I'm just going to use the 3-axis. We're not going to go into 4th axis now. Because that opens up a whole new things. We'll we will definitely do some fourth axis programming and videos and things like that in the future. This is just to showcase and give you a sneak preview of what to expect when you use the scam. So this is the main view you see over here. So here you can rotate with the middle mouse and shift to kind of look at your model or the stock. And on the right hand side here you can set your machine that you're going to be using. You set what collet you're going to be using, and then here you can set your material, stock material. Now, if we don't sell wood, but if you order, if you all of the other materials that you order from us, say aluminum or aluminum, then you can select what type of aluminum, and here you can see this is all the sizes of the stock materials that you can buy from our store. So obviously, if you have a custom one, you can put in custom ones. And here you can modify the sizes, but this is just to kind of get you set up with our stock that we have available on our store. So, and then here you can modify it, and then this is the toolpath list. So basically what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go back to the left, and I'm going to add a file. I've got this little gear that I'm going to work with. So here you can inspect your model, and then with the modifiers on the left here, I'm going to just rotate. Let me just rotate this on the XZ axis because I'm going to cut it that way. Obviously, this is just an example model. Don't go into too much details regarding this model. So what I'm going to do here, you also, on the left, you also have some other options where you can create like a cube, you can create a cylinder, or you can create like a cone. So these are the three features you can use on our on Studio currently. For now, I'm not going to use these, but you could, if you need a circle or something, or a square or something, you can put something together with those shapes if you want to actually make your own model. But that's the only CAD side that we have on the Studio currently. Here you can move your part around. You can set the origin of where you snap it to. You can set it here by snapping it to the top, to the bottom, or to the center. And then you can quick align this. If I move this and it's random on a piece of material, I can just quick align the stock and it snaps to the center of the stock. So that's a nice feature that can just help you. And if you have two parts, you can center to kind of align them towards each other. So all of these things here are cool. Rotation, scale, array is also a very cool feature that we have added. Here you can say, okay, the spacing between them, I'll just make it 2, and I'll make, if I say now I want 3 on this and 3 on this, then it calculates, and then I've got an array of parts. So you can set up your jobs in that way too. For now, I'm not going to use the array. So I'm just going to use this. I just undo, Control Z, and you can trace your part to get the outline of it, or you can mirror it if you want to mirror it to the opposite side, and then undo and redo. So basically, this is a step file that I've imported. When you go to import or adding your file here, this can be a STP, this can be a step file, this can be a STL, this can be an object, this can be a 2D file like a DXF or a SVG, and then it can also be pictures for laser cutting or things like that, where you can also trace that to get a vector to actually machine. So basically with this part, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to create a new toolpath for this. And like I said, this is the manual way of doing it. There is a quicker way that we're very excited about, but I'm just going to show you that you can still do this. So this will be for people that kind of want to have control over exactly what part of the what toolpath they want to do on each specific part of the model. So you have your 2D toolpath here, and then you have your 3D toolpath. I'm obviously working in 3D because I have a 3D model, so I'm just going to use Pocket. And then over here, I'm going to choose what pockets I'm going to work with. And now here I can select that face, that face, that face, whatever faces I want. Select the face. And then over here, I can select the tool that I'm going to be using. 3.175. Let's take a little smaller tool for just this. I know this is a small gear. And then I apply the path to that. And it calculates. So, and I look at it from the front, you can see it's going to cut all the way from the top to that face. So I've created the toolpath over there. And then now I can add some more things. So if I want to the 3D, I want to add a contour. I want to actually cut this out of the stock. Then I select the I'm going to choose the solid, this object, select it. And then from that, I can create a contour. And then from that contour, I can create, from this contour, then I can create a toolpath. So basically, I've done a few of the pockets in a certain position, and then I've also cut it out. And then there's a little modifier over here that you can use on each specific toolpath, where you can edit all the toolpath parameters specifically. So say now you want this to start a little lower, you can modify that here. If you want it to end a little bit higher, then you can modify that here. On the end depth offset, last layer depth, safe positioning, that's just when it moves from toolpath to toolpath, if it needs to have a clearance height. And then here, the tool is already specified. This is the tool parameters, so the diameter of the tool itself, the step down, the feed rate, the plunge rate, which is down, the feed rate is sideways, the speed that you're actually cutting, the spindle speed, and you can also set the tool number. I'm obviously on the contour now, so it's only looking at that outside border. But you can also, if you select this pocket, then it will create all the inner, it'll actually take that contour and change it to a pocket, which is very cool. And also I've selected that contour at the bottom, which is an outside cut. You can also, if you select it and you want to cut it on the inside, you can also do that. For this specific model, you don't want to do that. And you can also go on the vector. If you may be doing like an engraving of some sort of logo or something like that, you can also cut on the vector line.
Hey, Rollo, I want to take one quick step back. And can you just real quick, looking at these awesome toolpaths you just created, for our total beginners here, explain why you couldn't just send the step file to the machine and you had to create these blue lines for subtractive manufacturing real quick?
Okay. Take it just a step back. So kind of to explain what we're doing here, this is the CAM software. So it's a computer-aided manufacturing software. So basically what we're doing, if we want to talk in a 3D printing term, we will call this a slicer. But in a slicer, what it's doing is actually giving you layer by layer how it will print from the bottom up. So that's what happens in a 3D printing environment. But in this software, what it does, you tell it that what material that you're milling. That's what I showed in that side toolbar. And then you also tell it what model to mill inside of that stock. So I'm going into a little bit more detail now, like most people. So if you're doing a relief, it's a little bit more simple. You don't specifically have to select every single face and things like that. But basically what we're doing is we are creating a G code for the machine to read to make it machinable. That's what we're doing currently. So this is kind of the slicer in CNC machining. That's what we're kind of getting to. If that clears things up.
It does. I got one more question for you I'm going to throw on the screen here. Can you use the wrong tool, or does it error out?
You can use the wrong tool. We do have tool suggestions. So that will definitely help things. But if you're using the wrong tool, it will adjust the toolpath according to that tool. So maybe I said that incorrectly, but you could use the wrong tool if you might need like a different finish or something like that. Yeah. But even if you use a larger tool, it will still look at that certain face and modify that tool to cut that certain face that you want to machine.
I think another good way to explain it is that there's never one right tool, right? Like there's never a single tool that only works for a single thing, you know? So like it will narrow you down. Like it won't necessarily let you, it'll suggest to use a single flute tool over a drill bit unless you're doing a drilling pass, and then it'll recommend that you use a drill bit for that, right? So it'll recommend the right category. Will it always recommend the most efficient tool? It depends. It depends. You'll see a little bit more about those guided features later when I start demonstrating something slightly different. So keep those questions in mind and keep throwing the questions in the chat.
I can show just an example here. So if I select a bigger tool and I apply the toolpath to that same face, now you'll see, okay, I don't have a side-to-side comparison now, but you see this toolpath has changed with the different tool that I've selected. So the tool path goes according to the tool that you select.
Yep.
There's many options when it comes to tools. So it is the possibilities is unlimited. But in general, you should get the same results even if you're using a different size tool. Depending, like I won't be able to cut in this middle piece with a tool that doesn't fit inside of this middle piece. So it's not going to calculate a toolpath in there if the tool doesn't fit in there. So the machine will stop you from actually milling inside there if the tool selection is too big. So if you calculate a toolpath and the toolpath's not there, make sure that the tool fits in that hole. The way that I do it actually is actually I use the create function. Let's say I want to make a cylinder. Let's say the diameter of the cylinder is 3.175, which is an 1/8 of an inch, and I put that here. Ooh, sorry, my comma is at the wrong position. But so I'll actually draw the circle here, and then I can see if that tool will actually fit in the inside of this gear, for example. So basically, yeah, that's what I've just created here. Just to show you the basic tool paths, and then I can do a preview of the pocket and the contour, and then I can also send it to machine here. So if you look at the main screen, you can see at the top here there's two toolbars. There's a design and the controller, but I think I'll leave that to my good friend on the other side of the screen.
Do the preview though. Let's see how your little gear looks, because this is another way to tell whether you use the wrong tool or not, is it will give you a visual simulation of what it should look like. And if that looks wrong, you know, then you don't have the right tool.
Yeah. So obviously I only selected that three faces, that face, this face, and this face. And then I also created a contour, which is the outer cut of that gear. But now if I go back, now I can see, okay, obviously if the radius of the tools was maybe a little bit big, then I can see, okay, I didn't cut that specific detail, so I need to make the tool with a less diameter to actually get all the details. So this works. You can see exactly what it's going to be doing and where the tool's going. That's obviously a bigger tool, and then it goes down and does the other part with the smaller tool. So you can see there it does the smaller tooling, and then it goes to the bigger tooling. So yeah, awesome. And that's the preview. And then here you can export the files. You select them. If you only want to select one or two, you can select it here. And you can either export it to have the G code on its own, or you can also send to machine directly, which is so cool.
I will be happy to show. I have another one for you. I'm going to kick you off the screen here. This comment I didn't throw at you midway because I didn't want to ruin your perfect stride, because you're doing such a good job explaining all that. But this one user really wants a dinosaur. And specifically, he wants a brontosaurus. And not gonna lie, while you were talking, I got distracted and I tried to make a dinosaur using artificial shape. Which, listen, I'm not saying I would actually do this, but for Rico Garza, this is for you. There's my brontosaurus using our basic CAD and create features there.
This is what you do while I'm doing.
You're working.
I'm teaching a lesson.
I'm just playing over here, but you were working. You were doing good stuff. I wasn't. I was just.
I was hoping I could teach you something too.
Oh yeah. No. Listen, folks. All right. So let's. I'm going to show you another type of project. Roloff kind of did the deep dive of showing you, like, listen, there's all of these features. There's all of these buttons. If you are like an advanced CNC user, you're familiar with Fusion, VCarve, SolidWorks, whatever, a lot of those terms were probably super familiar. There were also a couple questions saying, like, can you still use Fusion with our machines? And the answer is yes. You can use any CAM software you would like with these machines. We have plugins and machine profiles for Fusion, VCarve, SolidWorks, all that stuff. So yes, you can continue to do so, but we wanted to provide a super free and super powerful CAM program for our users. And that's exactly the big step that Makera Studio is over Makera CAM. So we're super excited for that. The other cool thing is that if you don't want to go into like expert mode and do all of those features, there's more of an automated guided way, which is pretty close to a 3D printer slicer. So Roloff kind of showed you a more complicated mechanical project. I'm going to show you a bit of a simpler and automated project through slightly different methods, because there's never one approach to any one thing. But I'm going to do that using Makerables, right? So this is the Makerables site. This is, again, open to the people that are in our beta at the moment and will go live to everybody in just about a month once this beta closes. You can see we do have this contest. We're going to be giving away prizes to those beta users because we want you to create stuff and share them on Makerables. So we want you to upload your projects, take awesome pictures. If you happen to make a video, you could share that. And you can upload not only your G-code files, but CAD files and design files, as well as, some different guides on how to actually create your projects. This is also fostering a cool community where you can chat, you can share, you can tag, you can collaborate. And what we really designed this site to be is just not a spot to upload G-code, because listen, if you download someone's G-code, that's not always enough information. What tools are you using? How do you clamp it? What work holding are you doing, right? Makerables allows you to do that by automatically figuring out some of these features for you, by identifying how many paths you have, identifying your tools. If you are using tools that we sell in the store, it's going to link those directly to the store. But of course, you can add your own custom tools and your own custom materials and things like that as well. So we're super excited to see users really start to create and build these things on Makerables. I published a project earlier today when I was testing some things out, which I think I made the home page. Let's find me here. Let's see. There I am. And there's my doggy. So I made this super simple relief. And what's really cool is that the CAD file I used to make this relief was also generated on Makerables. So not only is Makerables a site where you can find files and tutorials and guides like this, where you can learn how to create things step by step, etc., with people uploading awesome projects and guides. It's also a site where you can actually generate some models using our AI features as well. And for doing things like reliefs and some fourth axis machining, figurines, projects, arts and craft type things like that, it is immensely powerful. It's not going to replace full-fledged CAD if you're trying to make a super technical part, like a bracket that fits within a certain constraint where you need really tight tolerances and dimensions. But if you want to take an image and turn it into a really cool engraving for some jewelry, it's perfect. The other cool thing is you'll notice that you can just open projects directly into Makera Studio. So I can just open the CAM file, the G-code file, the model directly into Makera Studio if you have that installed. And that is things that we want our beta testers to be testing out as well. So let me show you how I made this. I'm going to head over to AI Craft, and there's a couple different AI Craft tools. I could use the image generation to actually generate an image, like generative AI. I could use 3D generation to generate a 3D model, which might be really well suited for fourth axis. For this project and for the limited time I have left, I'm going to create a simple 3-axis relief. And I'm going to upload the image of my doggy. And I do find that either removed backgrounds or simpler backgrounds work a little bit better for 3D reliefs. You'll notice I could also crop it to a circle if I was going to make it on like a brass coin or something like that as well. And we'll crop that and we will generate. And that's going to automatically go ahead and generate a relief. It could take like 2 or 3 minutes to generate. For the sake of time, I'm going to click on this one that I did earlier so you can just see the results here. And you'll see that it took that photo and just turned it into a super simple relief for me. And I can, render it using different materials and things to get a preview of what that might look like as we kind of come through here, which is super cool. And I think one of my favorite features is that I can actually kind of do some basic CAD here too. So for example, I'm going to be working with a piece of material that is 30 by 50 and 3 mil. So I can actually scale that in this software before I download the model. Roloff showed you that you have some basic scaling, CAD editing features and things like that in Makera Studio. So you can always scale those things later on. But you can do some of those things here. You could even clip it. So for example, if I wanted to, let's say, remove that background piece altogether and just have the profile of my dog, I can do that. For the sake of this project and how I'm making it, I don't actually need that to happen, but it's good that you have those tools and you can publish and you can share this within the Makerables community as well. So I'm going to go ahead and download this model. Cool. You'll notice that the other one just finished too. So it took however long I was talking there to actually generate that. So really not too long at all. Some of you are wondering what this thing is. I was pretending like I was Han Solo frozen in carbonite, you know, and doing another relief, just kind of fooling around because that's what this looks like to me. So that's my Han Solo pose taken with my webcam. If you're coming to Open Source, you might see more of that. So definitely stay tuned for that there. But anyway, I am now going to prepare the toolpaths for that. Listen, Roloff showed you how to go into a custom 3-axis mode where every button is available. We're going to now go through the guided mode, and it's going to look a little different. I'm going to say it's a 3D model, because it is, and I'm going to go ahead and upload the model that I just downloaded from Makerables. It wants to know, is it 3-axis or 4th axis? This is going to be a 3-axis project. And you can see we have our model. Now, I would do the setup just like Roloff did. So I'm going to be doing this with my Makera Z1. That's going to optimize all the feeds and speeds and travel paths for the Z1. I am going to be using hardwood. So that's going to automatically tune my cutting parameters for hardwood and recommend bits and things specifically for hardwood. And I'm going to change my stock size to match the size stock that I'm working with for this project. Cool. Now, before I move forward, you'll notice that my stock isn't, or my model is not quite centered where I want it to be. Not a problem. I'm going to use my move tool, and I should be able to just click quick align to automatically center my stock, which is super handy. That's just because I set the stock to be the same size as the image, so that worked out really conveniently. If my stock was bigger, like Roloff's was, you can obviously manually position or even set a specific X, Y, and Z position as you're moving it around, you know, so you have a lot of control over that. You can also scale your model later on if needed, but I was able to prepare this design perfectly for the size stock that I'm going to be using. Now, you'll notice I don't have all the buttons and things that Roloff had, because Makera Studio automatically figured out that this was going to be a 3D relief based on the type of file that I uploaded and the initial guided settings that I did. So the first thing it's suggesting is a roughing toolpath to machine a roughing pass. And you'll notice that I can click recommended tools, and it's going to automatically recommend a tool for me to use, which is great. I think that's fine. I could select a different recommended tool. So for example, if I wanted to go down to, let's say, this 2mm bit, that's fine. So this is not my entire tool library. We talked about earlier that there's never one right tool job. This has narrowed down my tool library to just the ones that it's suggesting for this type of cut. Then I'm going to go to next, and it wants to know my finishing pass, right? So now I'm going to be creating a finishing pass for this. And again, it's recommending a tool, and this one is exactly the one that I think I'd want to use. It's my engraving bit, 3.3 mil. I think that one is perfect. And then next, it's going to recommend a contour toolpath. So it's going to recommend an outer perimeter. Now, I don't actually need the contour toolpath for this one, but I'm going to leave it on just so you guys can see what that looks like. So I didn't change any settings other than selecting one tool. It automatically guided me through creating the toolpaths, just like you saw Roloff do manually earlier on. It said that I need a roughing pass, a finishing pass, and a contour pass. It said, I think you should use these 3 bits. I kind of just clicked next, 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 and it's going to go ahead and generate all of those toolpaths for me using the default settings and features. So it looks like it just generated one toolpath. We'll give this just another minute here. It's generating all 3 at the same time. There's the finishing pass that was just generated, and now it should be doing the contour toolpath. So this should just take one more second. Some folks are saying, are we going to be doing 4th axis stuff? Unfortunately, we don't have time to do 4th axis. We didn't want to sell 4th axis short by cramming it in at the end, but we will have a dedicated Makera Studio 4th axis machining live stream in the near future, because we could spend more than an hour talking about just 4th axis stuff. But listen,
Yeah, go ahead. I also want to mention that someone mentioned simultaneous 4th axis would be awesome. That is also something that we're currently working on very hard, and it's also going to be implemented very soon.
That is coming. Yeah.
We're very excited about that feature.
Yep. That is coming to Makera Studio, and there will definitely be a dedicated 4th axis live stream to accompany that.
Yeah.
So here we go. I have my 3 toolpaths. We can see the toolpath lines and things like that. I can click preview just like Roloff did earlier, and we can preview these toolpaths, and you'll notice that it's actually showing me wood this time because I set my material to be wood, and there we go. It's gonna, you know, machine my little doggy, which is super cool. And that's exactly how it would look. You'll see that I have a little bit of a glitch going on right now. That's actually just because I'm machining. My model is exactly the same thickness as my stock, and I didn't set it to cut all the way through the stock. So it's kind of like leaving a paper thin piece of wood. So that's actually more accurate than it might look. But I don't actually want to cut through at all. So I'm going to delete this contour toolpath. I don't need it. I just want to do a roughing pass and a finishing pass. So I'm going to engrave my dog just on a block of wood and keep it as a solid block of wood for my project. And listen, after it generates, after you go through that guided feature of let's do this toolpath, this toolpath, this tool, if you want to go into what we like to kind of refer to as expert mode and have access to all of those settings that Roelof showed you earlier, you still can. So when you go through the guided mode, it sets everything at the defaults. But if you want to open up these toolpaths after they're created and fine tune them, whether it's before you cut or after you cut, you still have the ability to do so. And we are super excited about that because it gives you a quick start way to get into machining with just a couple clicks without removing all the cool tools and things that you can do with these complex machines.
Yeah, that is great, Jason. I think this feature, this guided feature, will make it very helpful for many people. I actually have an idea. You kind of talked us through this. So it kind of took about like 10 minutes. Maybe I can just show them, because I have a model of a coin. Maybe I can share my screen and I'll just show you, if you understand what's happening and you understand the guided toolpath. Maybe I can share my screen quickly and I'll show you how quick it can be. Obviously, I'm not going to explain everything in detail here.
Can I just suggest one thing?
Yeah.
Maybe we should give stuff away first.
That's a great idea.
Let's give away more points, and then you can do that.
That's a fantastic idea. Let's do that. Let's do that.
So, folks, get your keywords ready. We're going to do our second giveaway of the night. This time, we're going to be giving away 6,000 Makera points. So that's $60 worth of points here. We'll give away a few of those. So definitely stay tuned with us. Get your keyboard ready. We're going to do another giveaway, and this will be the second of 3. So there's more things to stick around for sure. So stay with us here, folks. Roelof is just getting this ready to go. And
there we go.
Let's see. What's our keyword, Roelof?
Hashtag Makerables.
Love it. Keyboards, get them ready. Here we go. Remember, spelling does count. Spelling counts. And you can type it as many times as you want, but you can only be entered once. So multiple entries will not be accepted.
Hashtag Makerables. I'm gonna let's give that a minute or so. Maybe I only need a minute. Let me quickly. Okay, I'm gonna hide the hashtag Makerables. So let's just keep mentioning hashtag Makerables for people.
I'll leave it on the screen. I'll leave the giveaway keyboard up on the screen here.
That's perfect. So I'm back in Makera Studio. I'm going to use the guided mode. I'm not going to talk too much and explain what I'm doing, but a 3D model. I want to machine a 3D model. I go select a 3D model. I do have a 3D model of a coin. I select it. I'm going to model that in 3 axes. There's my little coin in my stock material. I select my material here, the machine. I say next. The relief, tool selected. I say next. The finishing, tool selected. And I generate the contour as well and generate the path. Calculating. Obviously, you position it differently and things like this. The coin is in the middle of the stock, so it's going to be quite a thick coin. I can place this down to make it a lot more suitable. And it's literally that sent to machine. What was that?
I like 35 seconds.
That's how quickly it can be if you understand this software.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Super powerful.
Or also, like, it's, you know, the defaults are really great. You and I test the defaults thoroughly from the team, right? So, you know, there are times where you definitely want to slow things down a little bit. If you want to speed things up a little bit, you can, but it's just a fantastic starting point where you can really take that, machine it, and you're more than likely going to find success of some degree, which is pretty cool. And you can't always say that. Those of you that are new to CNC machining, that might sound obvious. Like, of course it works the first time. If you've been around CNCs for a while, like it's a lot of trial and error to get your speeds and feeds right if you're really experimenting with different stock materials and bits and things. So this really takes a lot of that out, and it makes this way more attainable for a lot of users. All right, You want to do a draw?
Yeah, let's do it.
And then, folks, we're going to then machine some stuff. So stick with us.
Let's do it. The first winner
of this next round is
Stan Immermarinov.
2384.
Yeah, 2384.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Job well
Let's
done.
go.
Let's see. Winner number 2. Neo. Tim 9X. E.
Good job.
Yeah,
One more.
Job well done.
One more. And our third winner of this round, Neuron Revolution.
Awesome
Congrats.
username. And congratulations. You all just won $60 or 6,000 Makera points.
Yeah. To grab those points, you know what to do. Just send an email to info@makera.com with a screenshot of your YouTube account so we can know it's you. And you also have to follow our social medias and also obviously like and subscribe on the YouTube channel.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
And grab your
folks,
points.
We have one more points giveaway towards the end of the stream. It's going to be for $100 or 10,000 Makera points. So definitely stick with us for the next like 10, 15 minutes or so. Let me bring back up my screen. So listen, we showed you a couple different ways to prepare your design. We showed you how you can find a design on Makerables or even generate a design with Makerables. Now we're going to show you how you can actually machine this using the Z1. So one of the coolest features, in my opinion, other than the guided feature, is the fact that we have now integrated what used to be the Carvera controller app into the cam. So Makera Studio is both the cam and the controller all in one, which is super convenient. If you're wondering, is there still a Studio controller tablet app and mobile device app? The answer is yes. There'll be an updated controller app that doesn't have the cam portion, but still has the controller portion for your phones, tablets, etc. That's going to look a lot like this. So I have my toolpaths. I'm going to click export, and I could export these as a G-code file if I wanted to, but I'm actually just going to click send to machine. Oops, sorry, I just minimized that here. Hang on, let's reopen that. My mistake. Wrong button here, folks. I've already connected to my Z1. That's important. So I already have my Z1 connected via Wi-Fi and things like that. I also have a close cam that I'm going to bring up while this is loading so you guys can see my Z1. Give this a second. No, everything's moving a little slow right now. Come on, camera, wake up.
Camera's also not playing with.
Okay, here we go. So toolpath. Let me just make sure I'm still connected to my machine. Makera Z1. Cool. I'm going to come back to this page, so sit tight for a second. We're going to click export and send to machine. Here we go. Sorry about that, folks. Always technical difficulties, but we're good to go. So this is now uploading the file and selecting it in the new controller. You can see if you're familiar with the Makera controller, there's some similarities. You have jog controls, you have some your G-code and MDI window, you have your progress bar, you have file storage. But where the original controller app kind of had a lot of tabs, this is now more integrated into a singular point. So I can see my file here. I can actually get a toolpath preview of my file to make sure I'm running the right file, as you can see. I can also access the file storage if I want to upload a file from, let's say, another program, or if I prepared it separately, like if I want to upload a file I prepared in Fusion, or if I want to upload a file I downloaded from Makerables, I can do that as well. You still have diagnostic tools for troubleshooting and things like that. But from your main control window, you have the ability to kind of control your machine, jog it, move it, preview your G-code, and upload and share your files and things like that as well. Now, before I run that, let me go ahead and secure my stock. So with my close cam, I have this tiny little piece of stock here. I'm just going to go ahead and throw this into my machine. I'm using some side clamps just to clamp it down and secure it. This is also our new multi-tool, which is super cool, our 4-in-1 screwdriver. That's a screwdriver and a saw and everything like that. So pretty excited about this new accessory, which is pretty cool. So we're going to get that nice and tight. Excellent. And back in our controller software, Roloff, thanks for being the DJ here. We're going to click Start. Now, you have a couple different tools and features that you want to work with. This is similar to the Run and Config window from our previous controller. I should point out what you're seeing right now, even though I'm using the Z1, is of course compatible with all of our machines. So auto vacuum, if you have a vacuum connected, like the Cyclone Light, which I do, that will automatically turn on the dust collection system. Auto blow will automatically turn on the spindle fan to keep the work area clean and push all your chips to the back. Auto bed clean is actually pretty cool, that at the end of the job, it will kind of sweep the fan around the job and clean it off. And if you want to offset it from this origin position, you can, which I do a little bit. I'm going to move this just slightly off my side clamp, just a bit. Scan margin is really nice. This will just trace the perimeter of the job to show you where it's going to be. It's a visual check. And Auto Z Probe will automatically measure the height of your stock. And I want to measure the height of my stock from a little bit farther in from the edge there. If my stock wasn't perfectly level, if it was warped or rough cut, I could enable auto leveling, which will automatically probe the surface and take multiple probing points. So I can do that. This stock is pretty well cut, ran it through a planer and things like that. So we can just leave that off for now. If I did want to use some of our new features, like let's say, for example, the 3D probe or things, you can set all of that from these features. That's more of an advanced thing for a more robust project, but certainly something we'll look at in future streams. So I think this all looks good. I'm going to click Run, and let's see if this works here. It is beta, so we might run into a couple issues. A couple glitches are possible, but we shall see. We shall see. So it's uploading here. The first thing the machine should do is prompt me to load my probe to automatically go and calibrate my stock. Let's see. Let's see. I might have messed this up when it closed down on me, but we're going to find out. Awesome. So I'm being prompted to load the probe. Let me hide this window. Okay. So I know I'm slightly out of shot here, but that's okay. This is going to come in the shot. This has a very similar wired probe to the Carvera Air, as well as the quick tool changer as the Carvera Air as well. So I just inserted my wired probe. That's going to automatically just touch off just to double check its height. And then it's going to come on over to our stock area to trace the perimeter, which is super cool. So let's see this come on over here. Now, I know that that's going to be slightly out of shot for you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add this back to the stage and show you that the Z1, of course, does have its built-in webcam. So I can also see this through the webcam, which can be used for recording time lapses and monitoring your job as well. So you can see that that's just tracing the perimeter of my job to show me where it's going to be visually. And then it's just touching off to measure the height of my stock in just one probing point, which is all I set for this job, which is pretty cool. Now it's going to prompt me to load my first tool, which I do have ready to go. I should also point out that there's a safety feature that won't let you run your machine while the lid is open. I have that disabled at the moment for demonstration purposes. So let me load my first tool. And then this guy's going to start machining, which is pretty cool. So definitely more convenient and definitely a little bit more intuitive than needing multiple softwares, multiple apps, things like that. The goal was to really streamline how you go from the design stages to the production stages in a nice, smooth method here, as well as adding some fun new features that are super handy, like the ability to monitor your machines through a built-in camera. I don't know what the volume's going to be here. I'm going to close the lid. Let's see. We'll see how good my noise cancellation is. I am sitting right next to it. Roloff, how's my sound?
That so far is very good.
Yeah, is it still okay?
That's still fine. Your voice is fine, and the machine is not loud at all. So
awesome. Awesome. So yeah, I'm
cutting.
sitting right next to it, you know, but that looks pretty cool. Let me switch back to my other camera here so you can see me again. And I think we'll just keep this webcam view on, you know, so you guys can see the webcam there through the controller. So yeah, there's running through our roughing passes. You can, of course, monitor the line by line of the G code there so you can see what it's machining, which is super convenient. And again, kind of keep an eye on what it's supposed to be doing in the preview, as well as seeing it run on the webcam and checking out your code and getting the progress bar. The other cool thing is you'll see that it gives you different progress and things at the bottom, as well as, you know, the lines and the time and all that stuff as it's running and what features you have checked. So again, just a little bit more intuitive, a little bit improved interface to let you find greater success as you're working with our machines.
Great stuff. Great stuff.
Cool.
We had a comment here. Can you use a Makera machine to machine a Makera machine?
Yes.
Yes.
Check out, if you guys haven't seen it. Yeah, I would check out on our social media pages. Check out the our Did You Know series. Rolf and I visited China together about a year ago when we were still at the early design stages of the Z1 to meet the design team and to tour the factory and to work with the folks over in Beijing and things like that. And Rolf and I honestly just kind of made a mess of the factory for like a day. We kind of just borrowed carts and pushed each other around, and it became a social media series called Did You Know? So if you check out our Instagram, you can see some behind the scenes of how our machines are made. And I know that one of those videos was like, did you know we use Makera machines to make Makera machines? And we machine some of the more intricate details and parts using our own machines in the production line, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. So it is, in a way, possible. Definitely.
Yeah. Awesome. I think we have just enough time for our last giveaway.
Let's do it for 10,000 points.
Yep. Get your keyboards ready. One more giveaway. And
just a second. Just a second. I wonder if people can guess what this is.
Yeah, let's see. Is anyone putting in the chat? Does anyone know? Oh, Makerables was the last one, guys. Come on. Hashtag bacon. Come on. It's not bacon.
Hashtag doggy. Pretty close. Tacos.
1,000 points to anyone who knows the name of my dog. This is not the first time he's made an appearance in his live streams. I bring him up as often as possible. Who knows? Come on now.
Okay.
No. All right. What's the keyword?
Hold on. Let me share my screen. There we go. And the keyword is hashtag Makera Studio.
Ready, steady, go.
Did you see your dog's name there yet? I'm pretty sure some people might know your dog.
I did. I think I owe somebody points.
Yeah. It's not Spot.
I'll get him. Tad Ghost Doll 66. I owe you.
Everybody's gonna go look for it and
then.
158. Let's keep them coming. How's that milling going there?
All right, folks. Come on, last giveaway. There's gonna be one lucky winner this time around. Double check your spelling. While this goes, I'll bring this. Oh, I can't. I'm gonna switch my camera here. Actually, I won't. I'll wait for this to be done, and then we'll check in with the model when we're all done this.
All right. Makera Studio 229. Are we gonna do it? Still a few more coming in.
Yeah, there's still a couple trickling in. All right, I think we're there.
Let's do it. Let's do it. So for 10,000 points, let's go.
And Husamala Stadi 683. Congratulations. You just won
Congratulations.
10,000 Makera points.
That's a lot of tools.
That is. That's a lot of bits. That is a lot of bits. I'm going to bring this back on just so folks can see where we're at. I think we're just about done our roughing pass. It looks like it's just finishing the last little bit of the roughing pass here. So that's pretty cool.
I can already see a little doggy there.
Yeah. Let me switch my cam to the close cam real quick, just so you guys can see, because I did test this out earlier. I do like to practice. Come on, camera. My camera doesn't want to wake up here. There we go.
There we go.
And, you know, little doggy. Nice little magnet there. Where's my focus? Something like that. You know, this guy's actually, the reason I didn't cut all the way through is it's a nice little magnet, so I can stick it onto things. You know, nice little dog engraving.
Beautiful.
So, fun project.
Beautiful.
Lots of cool stuff. And yeah, busy stream, folks. So listen, as we are closing out, because we're just about out of time, couple reminders. First off, the main thing that we were talking about here is the fact that everything you just saw, Makerables, Makera Studio, that's all now going into our phase 2 beta. And you can apply to join the beta here. I'm putting this in the chat for the beta here. Boom, that's in the chat. So if you want to participate, if you're a Z1 user and you want early access to the software, if you're a maker, a creator, and you want to start to share your projects, if you want a chance to win up to $200, definitely try to join our beta group. We're looking for a lot of people to really run both Makerables and Makera Studio through some rigorous testing so we can make it as good as possible before the public launch in about a month or so. So definitely make sure that you consider joining that. And yeah, lots of super exciting things on the beta side. And again, you can follow updates on the beta on our social channels and in the Discord group.
Yeah, Discord will be where, you know, we can have back and forth, you know, and actually figuring out bugs and doing testing and reporting and things like that. So that's the way that we're going to communicate with everybody that's in this beta group. So yeah, stay connected, and yeah, check out our social media for everything else. There will be a bunch of updates coming. I also saw a few questions that I just wanted to touch on. How to earn your points. You have to email us a screenshot of your YouTube account to info@makera.com. That's how you can get your points sent to you. And then also there's a lot of questions about the add-ons, all the 3D probe and the vise and the vacuum bed and all these things. All these things are here. We're not going to show it on this live stream. I think on the next live stream when we go in the pre-sale, I think we'll show a bit more of all the accessories and things that you can get with the Z1, because the pre-sale is also opening on the June 9th. So we're very excited to share that with you guys, for the people that's missed the Kickstarter, to get orders on the Z1. So we're very excited about that. We will show it. Obviously, we can't show everything in one live stream. But this has been good, Jason. I think
it's exciting stuff. It's exciting stuff, Rolf.
Yeah. It was a packed hour and a little bit.
Yeah.
Good info. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for sticking around, folks. We really appreciate it. And as Rolf just said, definitely the next live stream will be our Z1 pre-sale launch. We're going to celebrate that, the huge maker community, and we're going to give away a Z1. So make sure you apply and enter that. The link's in the chat. And like Rolf said, we'll do a deeper dive on some of those cool accessories too. And then open source, and then fourth axis, and many things in the pipeline, guys. So, you know, stay tuned. Stay tuned. Really, thank you for joining us, of course, for another great live stream. We appreciate your participation. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you guys in just a couple weeks. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. It's been great.
Right.
Good evening and good morning and good night.
Yep. Cheers, folks.